this is, you can put this in it as well, but I have a huge zit on my nose, which is,
So you're doing the makeup?
our viewers just really only care about what we look like, Kevin. So
That's all I care about.
I look like death. I didn't really put any makeup on. I just didn't feel like it. So I put on lipstick and there I covered up my Rudolph nose.
Nice.
It's a little better. Okay, that's perfect. I look gorgeous. Stunning.
I feel like the glare off my glasses is catching my nose over here, and it
Do you
looks
want
red.
do you want some of my cover up?
Yeah, put some on me. Put some on me. Would you? Yeah.
Wait, let me get it. It's a little click-a-doo. Thank you, CoverGirl. Sponsor us.
Oh,
Perfect. Perfect.
It worked. Perfect.
Show ready.
It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
Welcome to yet another brilliant, I already know it's going to be brilliant, episode of Remark. I'm one of your hosts, Kristin Finger.
And I am one of your hosts, Kevin Reagan. Chris, can I tell you why I'm not enjoying doing Remark this year?
Why, Kevin?
Because I kind of like all these movies.
I know.
It's more
It is
fun
a
when they
struggle.
suck.
They're not bad, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Or are we just, have we become what
We
they
lowered the
wanted
bar?
us to become?
We may have lowered the bar so much. I don't think so, though, because, like, for the most part, like, there's problems. We'll talk about them. But for the most
Yeah.
part, it's been like, yeah, these are fine. They're okay.
Yeah,
No problem.
I didn't hate them. Let's just crack into it. First one we got to watch, Open by Christmas.
Yeah.
Allison Sweeney, popular amongst the Hallmark fans.
Yes.
Big time. She's one of their number ones. Also, another popular, Brennan Elliott.
Yes.
I don't know, Kev, is this their first team up? I think this was their first team up.
Yeah, I don't recall them doing it together. I know last year Brendan Elliott was in Christmas in Vienna, which we both kind of had problems with. Like, the
And do you
movie-
know what? Do you know what Allison Sweeney was in?
She was in Good Morning Christmas.
Yes.
I gotta say, honestly, like, I was prepared to not like him because I didn't quite like him. I think he was miscast in Christmas
Yeah.
in Vienna last year, which also we talked about. I think we were also very jealous. They had shot it in December of 2019.
Yeah.
So it was crowds and stuff. It was pre-pandemic and like not a care in the world. I mean, they may have brought the pandemic all around the world from that film. I don't know.
It was that caused it. It was them doing
They have not looked into that yet.
it.
But yeah, I felt he was miscast. But in this one, I honestly didn't. I liked him in this. You want the rundown? You want me to give you the rundown?
I want to hear what it was all about, or at least what Hallmark assumes it was about.
They assume, and they're pretty right on this one, when Nikki finds an unopened Christmas card from a high school secret admirer, this is a problem, though. This is Kevin talking. This is not Hallmark.
I was like, that's in the description.
This
is the problem.
Yeah, it gets real personal. The way that's written makes it sound like Nikki, Allison Sweeney, today received a secret admirer letter from a high schooler, and it's like, that's a Lifetime. That's a Lifetime movie.
He loves the kids.
We'll do it again. When Nikki finds an unopened Christmas card from a high school secret admirer from when she was in high school, my ad. She and her best friend Simone search to find and thank the anonymous author.
Very scandalous.
Yes.
The interesting thing about this was there were literally 2 movies happening at once.
No, there were not. There were more than 2.
All right,
I see your 2 and raise you at least 2 more.
That's fine. I hope one of yours is that she was, trying to find this person that wrote the card. The other,
barely. But barely.
Barely.
That's the movie. That's what it's about, allegedly. And then the subplot, Kristin, is
The fact that her best friend needs to get along with her mother-in-law.
that's subplot C, which
Is there-
this is a new one for me for Hallmark, that they had subplots that had subplots, like subterranean plots to the subplots. Yeah. So you have Nikki is trying to find out who wrote this card, obviously. I want to mention this real fast. Hallmark has to stop with the jobs, like the career. Like that they are like, this person's not unemployed. They have a job. They're working in the system. We don't care. Like, jettison that crap. You waste so much time. Like, there was absolutely zero reason to ever show Alison Sweeney at work.
Exactly. And there's some cases, like some of last week's, where every single lawyer we met put it into they were helpful because they were lawyers. Her job, they tried at one point to swing it where she was like, well, this is what I do for a living. I forget what she was even talking about. I think it was like selling her parents' house. And I was like, that has nothing to do with what you do.
Yeah. That was nice too. That the parents, I mean, the house was gorgeous. They don't want their daughter selling their house. They had brought in this fella played by Brennan Elliott, Derek Marshall, sign and everything out front of the house. And Derek Marshall was coming in to sell their house. So that was fine because it brought him into the storyline. Not a spoiler. He wrote the letter. We know this from the beginning.
Oh my God. Like, it literally was worse than like when you watch what do you call those? Like the Jason movies, and it's like, they never show him the first few kills, and you're like, who could it be? And it's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was going to be him. I did like that both the women were billed first. Yeah. And again, Will Rubio last year, when we interviewed him, talked about how the female lead, typically it's one, is always at the top of the call sheet, which makes sense. It's Hallmark. It totally makes sense. But the fact that both of them was really interesting, because it did throw me for a loop initially, because Elliot Brennan was billed as Elliot Brennan at the very end of the listings. And I was like, oh, wow, maybe it's not him. And then about a minute into the movie, I was like,
no, it's him. Well, I think, oh my God, the reason those two lovely women were billed first is because they were each in their own movie in this movie.
Yeah.
So they had to bill them.
Yeah. So Simone, her best friend, her subplot plot was she is engaged to this nice gentleman who we also find out actually physically wrote the Christmas card because they're best friends. Yeah.
Too much.
No, I had a solution to it. The reason they did it was his handwriting was ugly. Why wouldn't they just have done, and it could have been a great storyline, he broke his arm skiing. Like that, you could have set that up very easily, put that plot point out there, but yeah, he has ugly handwriting.
I just wonder, like, if I'm writing a Hallmark movie, this is me. Oh gosh, I want to throw in a wrench. Bad handwriting. I'm just not quite sure if that's my go-to.
Yeah.
But like, then I realize, oh goodness, are they pulling this from like something that actually happened in their life? So
that's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I also want to just draw attention to one of the dudes that they thought it could possibly be.
Oh, I love it.
There were some clues in this card, obviously. One was that there was like some sort of, we assume, sporting event because they won against the school.
But can I tell you, not to interrupt, I said to my wife as we watched it, because it was actually Alison Sweeney's character who said football, and then Simone who said basketball, and that's what they ran with, was basketball. As soon as she said football, I said it's going to be the debate team. Kristin Finger, back me up. What did it end up becoming?
The debate team.
I was so proud of myself. I thought of myself as I write this.
So the second guy, or one of the guys they thought it was.
First guy was the artist. Second guy was at the party.
That's okay. Good. The first guy. I want to talk about wardrobe for that guy. Okay. We all know And like, you have friends that are artists.
Yeah.
I'm an artist, so I've gone to gallery openings and
Always
such.
a black turtleneck, mandatory.
Mandatory. But this gent was in a vest with a tie that wasn't tied like a tie, but like tied like a kerchief. And then like, it was just literally like someone in the wardrobe was like, an artist. I know. And then put him in that. I laughed hysterically. Like, I thought it was over the top. Kevin, can you bring a screenshot of this over the top look up? Yes.
If I can find it.
If just pull up a picture of like a starting artist.
Rando, yeah. It's just a picture of Lando Calrissian. Hey, it's all I could find. I'm sorry. And he also played on the basketball team, which I wasn't buying because they made him very artsy. And then he talked about, I didn't play on varsity because I blew out my knee. And then she was like, check that off the list.
Check that off. Yeah. Then the second guy, and it was amazing. So the guy, she was like, was it you? Did you write this? And she's like, not unless you were a teenage boy.
Not unless your name was Jeff. I thought, what a great line. Yeah.
But the important thing is, I need to know who Jeff was in high school because I want to see a subplot 9,000 of that gay man and his crush on Jeff from high school.
So good. Yeah. Well, that's the sequel. They'll make that.
Good.
We'll be back next year with that one. So we did have some other things in it. We had, and I'm liking seeing these more and more, we had something called the Missing Dad Alert. He's just not there. So Simone has a son, and his father has just left. So Simone's son, whose name I don't know, but he was in the Tyler Hynes movie, the romance one. What was it called? Do you remember?
Yeah, Roadhouse Romance.
No, it wasn't that one then. It was what was the Harvest one called?
All because you're questioning my Heineism.
I know, I'm so sorry. He was in there it is. I have it on the screen now. Thank you for looking that up later, Kevin. This kid, I like this kid. I also like these getting older. He had some fun scenes and such. There was a Christmas tree incident with him, but his father had left, and because of this, Michael Carl Richards' character Jeremy was very, very close with him, which was nice. But that was one of the subplots because then Erica Durance, Simone, felt that her fiance was just never around because this guy is spending all his time with my kid.
Kevin, I literally was like, wait a minute. She's mad. Yeah. That her son is having a great fatherly relationship with the man she's going to marry.
Unbelievable. I mean, I want to string. I did like when she goes, I'm going to go make more popcorn, or I'm going to go make some popcorn. And the director just like hit that popcorn on the table and it was like overflowing. And I was like,
there's plenty.
Yeah. So,
but then his mother comes to town, which is subplot 9.25R. And she has to prove to this mother-in-law or soon-to-be mother-in-law that she's worthy of her son. Yeah. And the mother-in-law explains that her one son always calls her, but Jeremy never does. Yeah. And blah, blah, blah. So their commonality is that their sons hate them.
That's it. And they bond. So mother-in-law to be and daughter bond. Yeah. Yeah.
So cute. That worked out. They made cookies together. And then the son and the Jeremy realized that they were trying to surprise the mom with this house they bought without telling her.
Yeah. Open by Christmas. Naughty or nice, Kristin?
Can I give it a?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, you could. I'm going to say nice if you ask me to specify which plot. I would actually say probably everything but the main plot, only because I wanted more from that one. But nice.
That's it. I didn't actually care about the card. Like, I actually enjoyed Simone's plot better. So I'll give Simone's plot a nice, and I'll give Nikki's plot.
Okay. The second film we watched aired on Saturday night at 8:00, November 13th. This was My Christmas Family Tree, starring Amy Teegarden. She, along with Andrew Walker, whom we have seen in the past, and We will get to that. I am very excited when we get to our 3 for many.
Urge your loins.
And James Tupper, who plays Richard Hendricks. This was one that I was super looking forward to, and I will tell you why. Last movie was the potential of a high school kid being in love with a woman. This one, when Vanessa receives the results from her family tree DNA test, she discovers a family she didn't know existed and travels to their home for Christmas. Kristin,
Yes.
I legitimately was hoping she was going to have this relationship form and then find out it was her brother.
You have no idea how much I wanted that to happen, because the amount of times her best friend asked, "Are you sure he's not like a cousin or something?"
Yeah, they actually did a great job when she first gets the results. And again, for my complaints, we also see Amy Teegarden, her job, her at her work, does not play into really any of the film. But I will give Hallmark this. They will always hit the plot of the film, this A plot anyhow, within the first 9 minutes. Every single time. They will always set it up and go, dude, this is what the movie's going to be. So for this, she gets her DNA results. Her neighbor had gotten hers and said, you probably got yours. She looks, they go through it. And in going through it, she finds out who her father is. She never knew because her mother knew her father, but she was 9 years old when her mom died. So
wow.
I almost glossed over it. How could I? And there will be more.
There's more.
She meets her father. They talk. It's actually very nice. And he says, you should come spend Christmas with the family. He lives outside. I think he lives upstate New York, and she's in the city. And
Yes, I think it's Connecticut.
Is it Connecticut?
I think she said it's only about an hour from here, like Connecticut. Yeah.
Okay, because there are Jets and Giants and Yankees and Mets jokes that occur in the film. So, but he does say to her, "You can come up with Christopher, a family friend." And as soon as he said it's a family friend, you know, that's the guy. That's gonna happen.
The guy right there, like, dude. It's like a Harry Met Sally sort of situation. Yeah. Except it wasn't Billy Crystal. It was the hottest dude.
Hold on. I need to ask this. Did you just say Millie Crystal? And more importantly, do you think his name is actually Millie Crystal?
I said Billy Crystal. Roll it back. It wasn't Billy Crystal.
It wasn't Billy Crystal.
There it is. And it was clearly Millie. We did this a couple weeks ago. And once again, Kristin. But here's the funny thing. If you watch this movie, if you haven't watched it, or if you have watched it, watch it again. When Andrew Walker first introduces himself to her, he pulls up in the car and he says, "Hi, my name," I am not making this up. We rewound this multiple times. He says, "My name is Christopher." And we were like, what did he just say? We wound it multiple times to the point where I was like, is that a name I've just never heard? So he botched saying the name, and they left it in the film because they probably only had 1 or 2 takes, and the other one, maybe a bird flew by.
What is he billed as?
Christopher. Like the father says, or Amy Teegarden's father says Christopher. He's referred to every other time as Christopher, but when he introduces himself, he says Christopher.
I'm gonna tweet at my buddy Andrew and see
what he says.
How he feels about them leaving in that mistake, if it was a bit.
Well, he's going to go, I didn't say that. Roll back the tape. And everyone will roll back the tape. Oh, man, you don't know how to say Christopher.
Kevin.
Yes.
Can we get to the best part of the movie?
Yes. The ordering of the hot cocoa finally paid off.
So, okay, picture it. You're just sitting with like a really hot dude in a really hot suit, and then literally a glowing ball of hotness just comes over to your table and says, "Here are your peppermint hot chocolates," and then smiles with his new haircut and beardless face, backs away, and then you don't tip him. They left that table without tipping a Heinz.
Well, he did. Yeah, it was Tyler Hines. It was a cameo of Tyler Hines himself. It was funny too because when he delivered the hot chocolate, initially my brain went, "Oh man, I'm surprised they gave that actor a line because it's a SAG actor. B, you're paying them more. Like there's a lot that goes into it, and there's no point in doing that. It's just like here's your we don't need to even talk.
No, there was a really big point to that because Tyler and Andrew are like really good friends apparently, which is adorable. And I don't know how these things happen, but that's literally if Kevin and I made movies, every single person in the movie would be someone that we know. We would just
oh my god, without a doubt,
everybody in a movie.
Yeah. The first, we would go into a studio meeting, Kristin, we'd be like, we want this person, this person, this person. These are all of our friends. And they'd go, no. And we go, we don't care. That's fine. Get rid of them. We just want
we just want it. But I thought it was great. And I will say, because I'm on the Hallmark fan page, I am on the Tyler Hines fan page, and I didn't get a chance to watch it before learning that he was in it. Yeah. And then I got a call at 8:30 in the morning on Sunday from Kevin saying, did you watch it? Do you know?
I knew you would not be awake, but like it was so jarring when he came to I mean, we've been showing pictures, you see them, here he is. When he came to the screen, that I immediately paused it and I said to Julie, oh my God, that guy looks exactly like Tyler Hines, but it was off-putting because again, he's usually got the beard, no beard. And then it was so much so that I was like, it's got to be like a relative. Maybe it's his brother. We look it up. He's got a brother named Matt, who's not an actor. And we were like, I guess they gave him a... And then I'm like, let me go to Tyler Hines' Twitter. And it's just a smiley face and tagged Andrew Walker. I go to Andrew Walker's and Andrew Walker just has all this like, Tyler Hines. And I was like, oh yeah, that's 100%.
100%. Well, and he thought... Yeah. I mean, Tyler and I have a really special relationship on Instagram. And so he likes and responds to a lot of my stuff. I think we're just friends. But I wrote like on his feed, like, oh my goodness, what a lovely surprise. Also, really great haircut. He liked it. So
listen, until you get into a feud with Benjamin Ayers, you're not winning it there, Kristin. I'm so sorry
about Benjamin Ayers. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Hey, how about this? We find out the connection that Andrew Walker, so his character, his father was very good friends with Amy's father. And that man becomes a father figure to Andrew. I'm going to keep saying Andrew as if that's the character's name.
No, and I also just realized that I guess we're done talking about Tyler Hines.
Yeah, Kristin, please. That'll be the whole show. So, but here's the thing. Christopher says to Vanessa, he's talking about what had happened. He was at school because he is a corporate lawyer. Not just a lawyer, a corporate lawyer. Yeah. And he says, my parents were coming up to Michigan to visit me during Christmas one year, and they were killed in a car accident. Whoa! Double dead parent alert, and the bonus of knowing how. They do not do that very often.
No, this was
tragic.
It was on their way for a college visit of him. Like, so he felt responsible. That's deep for Hallmark. We've got missing parents. This is like, they died coming to see me because they love me.
Yeah.
So I will say, so of course they finally get to the house, and the father, assumably the parental match that she found, has a wife and 3 kids, and his wife is awesome.
She's the best. Yep.
From the moment he tells her, like, I have another daughter from this woman I met before you and before I went overseas. And she was like, well, then I have a daughter.
Yeah.
And I was like,
what's yours is mine is the actual.
Yeah. So we get to watch the awkward introduction and the really funny, awkward, like, well, how is she my sister and she's old, without having to explain sex to their kids?
Yeah. Or to Hallmark viewers, because again,
Hallmark viewers are like, whoa.
These movies end with kisses and nothing else.
It's too spicy. It's a stork that comes and drops off a baby because that's how Jesus was conceived.
Even the mom makes a face when the little girl says it, like, "Ooh, I'm not touching that one." I'm thinking, you better, or you're going to have a problem in like 10, 15 years. So the mother is totally cool with it. It reminded me of Elf, in fact, because that's also the storyline in Elf, where there isn't this weird, like, look, people are people before they meet. That's just the way it is.
I just don't know how you'd be mad because they just found out too. It would be different. It was like, oh, I've been hiding this daughter our whole life. But
it would have been nice if they were mad, but they put that subplot also in Open at Christmas. They were just like, we're going to do this. This has subplots to other movies too.
Put it over there.
Yeah,
it's just the wife in therapy.
So Vanessa Hall gets her results, but then also gets her results yanked out from under her, where she thinks this is her family, and then the place sends an urgent email, call us immediately. She does. Call immediately. They're not open on the weekend. Automated mail system, I suppose. So then she has to wait until Monday, calls them, and the woman is very apologetic and says, I'm so sorry. There was a mix-up. It was another Vanessa Hall. Which, have you done any DNA test?
No. My mom, my brother, I have never done it.
So they're done with docket numbers, because there's still privacy. Once, like, if I do it and it's you don't get to find out information unless that information is essentially clear.
Right. Yeah, you're assigned like a number, and then if you I know that like my brother put in that he can be reached by like.
Exactly. Yeah. But also, once you do that, you get other information, which means her father, maybe he's not logging into this thing because she did reach him over Facebook, but he would be notified. Like, he would get that notification as well. So he would. That's
why I didn't know why he was. Yeah. So I get it. I get why they're, whatever. The thing that I'm so confused on is she never like I'm assuming the like 23andMe place that she got it done at still assumes she's wrong. So then I'm like, wait, did they contact this other Ashley and tell them? Do you know what I was like?
Ashley
oh my God.
Is the name that Kristin uses for, it's like Chicky Babe. She was saying Chicky Babe a couple. Ashley, it was Vanessa. So I think you're trying to,
Vanessa Hitchers.
No, Vanessa Hall. Very simple. Vanessa Hall. What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
This should have been solved pretty quickly if people would talk and listen to each other, because he says, then I met Trish. And she says, Trish, you mean Patty? And they just move on.
Yeah.
Ignoring the fact that, of course, Patricia is Patty, Pat, Trish, whatever you know. But still, they could have done some identifiers. They could have done some other things. She started in Rhode Island, and then she moved to the city. And he only looked in Rhode Island when he came back from the war, was not able to find her, never knew she was pregnant. It was that misdirection, but in their sense, a true misconnection where off went Trish, Patty.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is I don't think they like dated. You know what I mean? I think they had a few like.
Well, I mean, he said his hat blew off his head.
Yeah.
And she picked it up and made fun of it. And now you're here. And I was like, wow.
Wow, that's
That's better than most dating apps.
Don't pick up a dude's hat. Don't. That's how Hallmark makes babies. Is that if you're polite and you pick up a hat.
Don't don that cap. Yeah, that's madam.
So meanwhile, we watched this lovely relationship blossom between Chris and Vanessa.
Yeah.
And along with Vanessa connecting with the son, the youngest daughter, the teenage daughter. I liked all of those. I love their little shopping scene. I thought that was really sweet. And I love that the teenage daughter, because you could tell while she was like, because I was like, oh my God, if I was that teenage daughter and we had this hunk come around as a family friend, I would be obsessed with Chris.
Oh, yeah.
So then I was surprised they didn't make her mad that like Chris had a crush on Vanessa, but I love that she was like, so what do you think of blah, 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 blah. Like, I loved it. Yeah. I loved the sister talk.
I did too. The thing with the not older sister anymore, that's weird because she was always the oldest and then all of a sudden to not be. Mm-hmm. And That was nice too, because she says, "You're our half sister," and then it was the mother who said, "I don't like that term, half sister. She's your sister. She's family." And that was a big thing in this movie, is just hitting that point over and over and over. Your family, because even Christopher, or whatever his name was considered family, though he does ask his surrogate father, essentially for permission to date Amy, which he has no problem with. And
that was adorable.
Yeah, it was cute.
I loved their little hug. I wanted to be a little sandwich in there.
Yeah.
And
Kristin, I don't want to not point this out because we talk about it. Doesn't happen, but we've had some ladder climbs. When he gets the results of the DNA test, he is on a ladder and he falls.
Oh! It's not a romantic fall. It's comedic, but I loved it.
Yeah.
The giant Santa blow up was.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, I loathe those blow up inflatable things. I know, I hate them. My mom jokes that because I don't hate what they look like when they're up. I hate what they look like when they deflate during the day and everyone just looks like they have piles of garbage on their lawns.
Well, it's funny too. This time we have one. We have a unicorn. And
is that just year round? That's just unicorn.
No, I do. I put it up around my birthday, which is the 5th. So after Halloween decorations come down and the unicorn goes out. The rest of the lights don't go up for a while. Nice. But the leaves continue to fall, and you're right. So when you flip the switch, and there's something cool about it. It's like shaking off out of the. But yes, that's.
Can you not leave them up all day? Is it just you're saving on electric?
Yeah, I understand that some people don't ever want the temperature to go below 86 degrees in the winter ever again, but some of us give a crap. But also, it kills the life of them. They don't last forever.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know how windy it's been around here, so, the thing will blow down the street.
I understand weather, but what I don't understand is the height of the new one they replaced with it is higher than the house.
That was just showing she's a size queen. She was like, yeah. You know what? Go ahead. No, do it.
I'm just gonna skip to the end. So she finally lets the family know.
Yeah.
That she got news that she's not his daughter.
It was awesome. It was during the family portrait, the picture around the tree.
Yeah.
And it weighed on her to tell. She didn't want to tell until after Christmas to ruin Christmas. But that thought process of, I'm gonna
be in this.
I'm gonna ruin it. I'm gonna ruin I'm not part of this family, and I'm gonna ruin this picture. I thought that was really nice and touching.
I thought that was a really nice moment. And I think so then she tells them and then she leaves. Yeah. And then they're, sitting around thinking, I really miss her. Yeah. And it doesn't matter that, it's almost like family is who you make your family, which I've always believed as well. So she really became a part of their family. Yeah. And then also the adorable thing is the dad was like, well, you like her. Did you tell her? Did you, whatever. So he sends Chris to go to New York to tell her that he loves her. And I think that's right before the family decides, well, let's go tell her that we love her.
Yeah.
So they all know that they're going. She gets home and the family gets there first. And they're like, and she's like, where's Chris? And then bring burn. Andrew carrying a tree comes in.
Oh, the tree.
One of my least favorite things that they do in these movies is that when a couple has their first kiss, an entire family is watching.
Hold on, though. Did that happen here?
Yes.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
It did not. They went around to the back of the tree. I loved it. They did.
No. They're on the side of the tree because all of them scoot over. You have to find this screenshot.
Listen, he can't help if they come, but he did take her around the back of the tree.
Kind of.
Make out with this chick, but I'm not a creep or anything.
They're all creeping.
Yeah, they are.
You have to find, or I'll find, the screenshot of the little girl's face when it's happening because she's like.
Well, she's putting together the question she had asked at the beginning of the movie, and she's like, "Oh, I know how." Kristin, who would you play in this movie?
gonna believe it. But the moment that long-haired, it was in the beginning of the movie, they didn't have a single line, but it's a long blonde-haired saxophone player.
Yes, yes. I know exactly. It was a woman, right? She had like real, yeah. She looked like Norwegian or something. Yeah. I did see
The
her.
sax player.
Kristin, I have to tell you, I did make a face. I actually put the inflatable Santa. That's who you would be in this movie. It was a scene stealer, and I was like, yeah, I knew you could do it. And deflate. End of the day. Kristin, we watched a third movie. This was on the Movies and Mystery Channel. I have not watched any of these so far this season, which is why we've been bringing in other guests to talk about it. Chris will watch them because I honestly don't know why Chris watches them, but I guess he hates everything else.
I don't need your judgment.
You're getting it. Please. This is everybody watches this and is looking at us like, why do they watch these?
Why do they
That's
watch
how I
them?
feel. That's how
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I swear to you, I do. This one was called One December Night. And the reason it was different is because it had big stars in it. So we have two music managers must put their history aside to oversee the televised reunion performance of their rock star fathers with a fractured past. Maybe path. The path is fractured.
The path they fractured as well.
We have Eloise Mumford playing Quinn Sullivan. The gentleman is Brett Dalton of
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent Ward /
And we had Peter Gallagher as Mike Sullivan and Bruce Campbell as Steve Bedford. They are aptly named Bedford.
Mr. Cohen from the OC. That's how I know him.
So great. Yeah, so great. I did not hate this movie. Part of me thought I was going to. I knew I would like Peter Gallagher. I knew I would obviously love Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
This one's nice. I mean, they kind of remained within each other's hemispheres throughout. There seemed to be some taking advantage of people, like getting a hold of the rights. Bruce Campbell's camp did that. He and his son took over the rights, but it was because Peter Gallagher's character had a drinking problem, and part of it was to protect the music and make sure nothing ever happened to it. We did have a dead mom / dead wife alert in Peter Gallagher. Mike Sullivan's wife had passed away while he was probably at his lowest points with his lack of sobriety. So therefore he wasn't there for his daughter. So there's a reuniting of the father-daughter. There's the reuniting of the two friends growing up who managed their parents. But there is the switcheroo, which is what I liked, and they really didn't follow through with it. Where Eloise says, why don't we switch? I will manage your father and you manage mine, because their father, they referred to each other's fathers as uncle because they were still close to them growing up.
Someone on the GD Hallmark group was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are they cousins? That's gross. And someone was like, are you an idiot? Are you not watching the movie?
No, they were not. They clearly were not. They were busy buying back from Blossom Hill. Guess what, Blossom Hill? I said it. You're not allowed to sponsor us.
Here's something, the moment you spoke of when Quinn goes over to Brett Michael's room. And I know we're not talking about H3O yet, but like that.
We'll get there. Yeah.
He opened the door and he had
Jason Bedford. Yeah. Did he have Bedford head?
The Bedford had some amazing bedhead and like was in like his jammies, and I was like, get in there, girl. Tell him your whole plan.
So long story short, they do get back together. There is this weird subplot, again, not needed. The idea that Quinn works for this record company, that's why he sent there, that was fine. I was actually okay with that. It was one of the few jobs I was like, yeah, I get it.
That one makes sense.
Yeah, but it didn't, like, she basically did this quid pro quo where she's going to get this artist that she's kind of ushering through life to be, the company's going to really take care of her, basically. And her boss says, yeah, if you make this happen by getting your father to do this, then yes, we will do that. It wasn't necessary. Like, that's that idea.
You didn't think so? The only reason I can see it being a necessary plot point is she wouldn't have gone and done it because she was so estranged from her father. So it was the only leverage that, like,
to make it selfless. It's not about her and her career. It's about someone else. Okay, I will give that to you.
But to get her to agree to it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think she would have gone, and the movie wouldn't have happened.
Kristin, who would you play in this fine film?
Okay, so I would 100%,
Without a doubt,
without a doubt,
yes,
play the role of the waitress that was also Frenchie from Grease.
All right, so listen, Didi Khan was in this, and I literally do have written down for who would Kristin play. I wrote Didi Khan, Norma, Frenchie. I wrote all that down, and then I wrote, no! Sorry, Kristin, because yes, you are very Frenchy. That would be great. You would 100% play Troy, Diane's nephew. That guy, I will beep it, there's no other way to say it on this show, was quite the up. Everything he did messed up everything at every turn constantly. And I was like, this is an amazing character.
My favorite, you know what? You might be right. Because when he was like, sent the photographer home. And then he was like, I took some photography in high school.
Yeah. I think he had a really nice camera. I thought they were going to use a cell phone at that point. That guy.
Oh my God. No, I'll take it. I'll take it.
And he was also a character that was just kind of, he was annoying me and I was ready to jettison him. And then he had a moment where he and Quinn are decorating a Christmas tree for, setting up. And he said, I'm not cut out for this, am I? And of course she's like, decorating a tree? Sure. And he's like, no, the music business. And it was nice. It was like,
yeah.
And like, she should have been honest. That was the one thing I wished she had said, you're not.
You're not.
Okay. There's something else out there for you, buddy. But instead she says, no. It's like, oh, this guy.
I'll take it. Also, ladder alert.
There was a ladder
alert.
Yeah.
He went up the ladder and came down safely. I was uninterested.
But it's still there. This was the rare Hallmark film. It's never going to happen in a million years. I had wished, I was kind of in the camp of some of those Hallmarkians that you were talking about on Facebook. I just didn't want them to get together. I wanted them to be like, yeah, this isn't about us, and not get together, but still be friends. And I had this moment where I thought, that would be so cool. And then I was like, that's not going to happen. They're gonna
I would have totally been down with that, but they liked each other and they had a passionate kiss.
They did multiple kisses, yeah.
Yeah, for Hallmark.
Yeah. Well, Hallmark movies and mysteries, they're allowed over there. Yep.
True. It's like going from like MTV to MTV News. Like
Kurt Loder, yeah. You know Kurt Loder, sexy kisses and touching over the sweater. All that's fine. With consent. Loader consent. Kristin, we had one final movie that we watched. And not only did we have this movie, we were fortunate enough, I know it dropped late on Friday night into Saturday morning, but we had the chance to interview its director, Keith Powell. If you have not watched that, you can go to our YouTube page and check that out. I'll put it into the description below as well. But we are talking, of course, about A Holiday in Harlem. After her grandmother, Mama Belle, turns away her usual gift delivery, expecting presents over presents, jet-setting executive Jasmine heads uptown to Harlem for a quick visit. However, when Mama Belle is injured, Jasmine agrees to stay in the neighborhood and take over co-chairing their block's annual Christmas jamboree with her old best friend, Caleb. A successful corporate fixer, Jasmine expects the job to be easy, but quickly finds that she has a lot to learn about the community and her heart.
Oh,
Lots.
that's a long one, but it's accurate. They were correct.
This one has Olivia Washington, Will Adams in his first major role, and Tina Leffert. Let me say this really fast. I loved that Caleb had a job that he continued to go to throughout the whole damn movie. Because again, There are many people. If you're going to do the whole story and you're like, oh, they're not going to work, don't explain it. Just they don't have to go to work. That's fine. But this dude was going to work. He was going to the hardware store. He was stocking shelves. He was doing things at his job throughout the entire movie.
Well, also a lot of these movies, people just assume everyone has off for like the whole month of December because of Christmas.
As soon as Thanksgiving happens, you don't go back until the new year. Yeah.
I usually have always worked on like Christmas Eve, like a half day. If I don't take that off, like companies don't, you know what I mean? Like thankfully the MoMA
apparently, yeah.
Yeah. So that was something I appreciated.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think that we learned was Keith Powell's wife.
She was the pregnant woman. So she was Will's.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, so she owned the hardware shop, which was nice because she gave that voice of reason to Will as well, which we find out. This is jumping way ahead, but it's totally fine. It's kind of like the non-subplot where it's just mentioned and nothing comes of it, at least in this film. Maybe in subsequent storytelling there would be. But it's the idea that this hardware shop is jam-packed. And Will also is an artist in himself. He takes old furniture and fixes it up very beautifully. But then he doesn't have an outlet of how to sell it. And everyone says, sell it at the shop. And he's like, there's no room at the shop.
Right.
And most people will say, why don't you expand? And when Olivia says this, it upsets Caleb. It's like, this is what it is. We don't all get to leave. Like, it's that misplaced anger that always comes out of that.
Yes.
But even his sister says, yeah, we should expand. It's a great idea because we were given this shop by mom and dad who died.
Woo! Question.
Yeah.
Was she pregnant with the director's child during the? I love it.
I believe so. I know they just had a baby who is about 3 months old, and I believe that the timing works out. So yes, I believe she was.
Brilliant. So one of my favorite moments in this movie was because of the performance of Caleb and Olivia, but also the brilliant direction of Keith, because it was like to the boardroom and they go back in that closet and and then they have this conversation and she's like, meeting adjourned.
There were a lot of nice comedic moments like that. And it's funny because, again, not to reference our own interview, but if you go watch it, Keith talks about seaming together what they were shooting up in Connecticut and what they were shooting in actual Brooklyn and trying to figure it out.
Harlem.
I say Brooklyn. You're right. In Harlem. Yeah, the name of the movie is A Holiday in Harlem. They shot it in Brooklyn. It was weird. Permit.
This is what I have to work with, people.
But there were so many awesome moments where everything felt that small. Like, I mean, Harlem's a big city, but it's a big city where so many people in the neighborhood, it's like all so interconnected.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I liked how small it felt in that big world. So
I will say, so we just did a show at the Wilma Theater called Renaissance in the Belly of the Killer Whale. Yeah. And these three talented, amazing women, all from Harlem, one of our Hot House members, Jaylene, and them wrote it. Yeah. And getting to do research for that show and the marketing of that show and just talking and interviewing with Jaylene, it made this movie even more special because it hearing Jaylene's stories about growing up there was amazing. And so I texted her today and I said, hey, I don't know if you like these movies, but I explained that we got to interview the director and hear the process of like how he really pushed for some of those scenes to be shot in Harlem because he has family there. I was like, I thought you'd appreciate watching it and being able to tell what was shot in Connecticut and what was shot in Harlem. So she was like, oh, fun. I'll definitely check it out. So I hope she likes it.
I'll tell you too, one of the pieces that really captured Harlem was the music. The music that they were using was, I'm not going to say that all of the Hallmark movie music is bad because it's not. They sometimes get good stuff. Sometimes they get stuff you recognize quite well. Like you'll hear, I was going to say contemporary. I don't know if I'd call Harry Connick Jr. contemporary. I think he is. But you'll hear music that's a little bit more contemporary. And then obviously stuff that's recorded specifically for these movies. This had a lot of awesome, very jazzy sounding music that was like not going to show up in, and again, it's not a knock on them, but not on like Open by Christmas.
Right.
It was just like, it was so specific to the location and it worked really, really well.
Well, it was like having some of the music from Gingerbread's Surprise, or Miracle.
Mexican, oh my God, I
Yeah.
loved it. Oh, I still love, Mexicali
It was
brownies.
really
Such
nice.
a
It was
fan.
really, really nice. I also really enjoyed, there was like an amazing sort, and it made me miss my mom, to be 100% honest, was
Yeah.
when they were making the mac and cheese together.
Yes.
I just like, it made me realize that this season I won't be with my mom leading up, where we always make like cookies and candy and stuff like that together. I get to see her
Well-
after. I'll see her. We're leaving on the 28th to go visit them where they're at in Texas. But like, it just, I thought that was a really nice
Yeah.
moment that just kind of put like an exclamation point on how happy she was to be home, and that
Oh,
these
yeah.
three women were spending this time to
Yeah,
like
three
together.
generations.
Yeah.
Olivia, her mom, and her grandmother. Yeah, it was funny during that exact same scene too, Chris. Not to point out that I'm a vegan and better than
Oh
you,
God.
we have
Are we keeping a
superpowers.
tally on this?
Superpowers.
Ding, ding,
I'm
ding,
not.
ding,
I'm
ding,
not.
ding.
But here's the thing: when they were making it, I turned to my wife and I said, "There is nothing healthy about what they're doing." And I mean, it looked great, but also my body, I would just crap myself. It was like
You would eat. It'd be like a colonoscopy. It would just go right through you.
Oh my goodness. I also really like this storyline where you have a couple who broke up, and that was Olivia's parents. That was part of the reason she leaves Harlem, because it was harder. Ma Bell didn't raise her, but they even say she was neutral ground. When her mom and dad were getting divorced, they would drop her off at Ma Bell's, and that's where the other one would pick her up, and that was neutral ground. And then as soon as she sees her mom, and her mom goes, "I gotta talk." Oh, something about your father, and I was like, they're back together. And then she sees the father later, and he's like, "We need to talk," and I'm like, they're definitely back together. And lo and behold, the mom and dad got back together. I always love that. I'm a sucker for that stuff. Did we do it on the last film? I don't know if we did, but for this one, I would definitely give this one it was just a nice feel-good movie. So
Big time, nice.
yeah, everything. I was very happy all around this whole weekend. Really.
I was too.
Oh, Chris, who would you play in this film? I know exactly who you'd play.
My goodness, do tell, because I don't think I picked anyone.
Okay. I thought it would be the lady, but it's definitely the gentleman in the Jamboree committee, because he comes around. But they're the Muppets. They
really are.
Statler and Waldorf, where negative about everything. Every change Olivia.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, what's that? It was just so great. And then finally at the end, he says to his counterpart, he goes, "Hold on, let's hear her out." And then she explains what she wants to do with the restaurants and allow it. And then at that point, she was like, "Okay, I like this." And it was nice, because it is that idea of.
Also, yes, I will host the fashion show, if that's what you're asking me to do, because that's what that person did, and they did it brilliantly. I may not be able to be as great as them, but I would try.
And keep in mind, Keith did say we're going to do, well, he hinted at the possibility of doing a holiday in Philly, and Kristin is right there. She just wants to be the angry person who's trying to get rid of Christmas.
That's all I told him that. I quoted myself by that. Just want to be the angry person getting rid of Christmas. I mean, it's all I want for Christmas. It's all I want.
Kristin, speaking of all that any of us ever want for Christmas, how about we talk about some hot guys?
Let's talk about some hot guys. Oh, this weekend was jam-packed. We had 4 hot, fine booties to objectify.
I am so looking forward to this for various reasons.
Also, don't worry about it. I just said 4, but I'm gonna say 5 hot bodies. 5.
Oh, interesting. Let's see where we go with this. All right, so in our first film, we have a gentleman by the name of Brennan Elliott. Kristin Finger, I usually go first. Would you be a dear and hit me up with your Brennan Elliott numbers?
I'm fearful because I think last year in the Chateau movie, I gave him a 2.
He was not Chateau. He was Christmas in Vienna.
That one. He doesn't get my motors running. But I also didn't hate this character. I actually liked his character. So like he looks okay in pants. Again, like nothing. I mean, it's like whatever. So I'm gonna give him a 6.
Okay. Yes, to Kristin's point, I looked these numbers up. That's why I'm so excited.
Oh.
I gave him last year the lowest score of everyone. He got a mere 0.5. 0.5 mistletoes, which is half a mistletoe, less than any mistletoe at all. I liked him. I really dug this character. I like that he was probably shy when he was young.
Yeah.
He took a bad calculation by sticking this envelope, this card, in her calculus book, and she even says, I tested out a calculus, which is awesome. She's so smart. But he hung around in some aspects. Like he did get married, he did get divorced. Awesome, totally fine. She was the unsent out manuscript who was just waiting for this guy, allegedly, even though she found out about him at Thanksgiving. That said, Brendan Elliott is getting a sweet 7 from me. Way better than the 4 he got last year.
Oh,
Important note.
I'm telling you, it really, see, we are objectifying these men off looks, but also character.
Yes,
and
we are.
Movies make a difference.
Can I tell you, last year, since we've ripped Ryan Pavey over and over and over, do you want to guess the number you gave Ryan Pavey last year?
He was in Timeless Christmas, right?
Yeah. Yep.
A 4?
You gave him an 8.5.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I don't like past Kristin. I don't.
Well, it was a timeless Kristin that gave that timeless Kristin character or Christmas character.
Who's our next feller?
Next up, we have in the film My Family Christmas Tree, a fella by the name of Andrew Walker.
Get your motors running. Get them on the highway. My motors were running, big time, full speed. He showed up in a suit that was so well fitted for his statute. And he has great hair. He has great jawlines. Yeah. Also, please follow him on Instagram because his beard work, when he has a beard, when he's not in these movies, is chef's kiss.
You get it.
I'm okay. I don't want to. Also, there's this thing that he does, okay, in all of his movies. I'm going to call it the Andrew Walker linger look.
Ooh.
All right.
What's that look like? Show us.
It looks like, say this here. Wait, let me borrow my Tyler Hines figurine and say I'm in this movie and say we're sitting here and we're eating popcorn and we're watching a movie. He'll look over, blink.
Yeah.
And then look over.
That it? I do it for you? Nice.
Oh my God. He does it every movie. And he did it so much in this movie, particularly in a moment where they're like sitting on a couch, all watching TV. Oh, he just looks at her like, I gave him a 10, Kevin.
Oh, man, you must really like this guy. I like him a lot too. I gave him an 8, but here's the thing. You didn't always, because the last go around, you gave him a mere 4 when he was in Christmas Tree Lane with the ever adorable Alicia Witt.
That's why I am telling you.
No, you can't let somebody pull you down. That's not how it works.
These movies make a difference. They make a difference.
So he probably did that popcorn look at Alicia Witt, and you're like, didn't
like it. Didn't like he's so dreamy. I'm also gonna give our boy Tyler Hines, the waitress in this film, a 10 million.
Oh, God. All right, I'll give him a 6.
What?
That's all you get. I'm not even going to explain it. Then we had a little something called One December Night. Brett Dalton playing Jason Bedford. Kristin Finger, can you subtract out the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.-ness and be able to rate this guy, or is this just where we're at?
I'm so sorry. It's just part of it. I can't not, like, Agent Ward was Agent Grant Ward. So so hot. So I think he's really cute. I did like his character in this, and I just also really want to talk to the hairstylist and thank them for doing there. He had like a wave that like was this perfect swoop the whole movie, and then when I mentioned earlier, my loins exploded when he had his bed head, and that swoop was just a messy swoop.
Yeah. I think they were trying to match it to like Bruce Campbell.
Oh my God, it's adorable. Anyway, I'm giving him a 9. I'm giving him a 9.
Listen, I liked him, and he had a high score for most of it. And then, like, things would make him go up, make him go down, make him go up, make him go down. I ended up giving him a 5, and here's why. He should have seen the signs and known his father had dementia setting in. And
Okay.
I was like, bad son, you lose points for that. You lose
Yeah, I think he was picking up on it, but his dad was being really stubborn.
Still a 5. He's not getting bonus points on that.
You're lame.
That's what you get. You're lame. You went after Alicia Witt's scene partner. And then finally we have A Holiday in Harlem. Will Adams in his first major film role. Kristin Finger. I gave that man a 6.5. There were things he did, wasn't in love with, but overall, and because it's his first film, I was like, you're good. You're getting something.
Yeah, I don't want to make him too cocky right out of the gate here, because this is what sets these Hallmark boys, they watch this and they're thinking, whoa.
Hey, Andrew Walker had to dig deep to get up to that 10.
That's what I'm saying. Andrew Walker went from a 4 to a 10 from me.
It can be done.
It can be done, right? So these numbers are just for us to inspire. So I liked the way he wore a shirt. I liked it. He does construction. I love someone that builds things. And I also like that he danced like really cute with like his family and stuff.
Oh yeah. Family dance.
It's like his moves. I'm gonna give him like a 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So there you have it. There them hunks are. What does that?
Wee hunks.
Kristin, we have some other fantastic films coming out next week. So everyone's going to want to tune in. Friday, November 19th, we have Nantucket Noel. That's a terrible title. Saturday, November 20th at 8 p.m., we have A Christmas Together with You. Saturday, also on the 20th at 10 o'clock on the Movies and Mystery Channel, we have 5 More Minutes, in which Nikki DeLoach wants 5 more minutes. And Sunday, we have on the 21st at 8 o'clock, A Kiss Before Christmas, which also has Terry Hatcher in it. And I miss Terry Hatcher being in things, so I'm very excited for that.
That one looks very sweet. That's like a back in time, like Scrooge sort of, if you would have made a decision. But Kevin, are we going to talk about the fact that I don't want to watch Candace Cameron Bure or that other Chicky Babes movie?
Chicky Babe, yeah. Laura Olsney, I believe. Oldsmobile. Yeah, so we have a whole bunch more movies that are coming up. In the week of, what is that called? Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's like 7 movies if you don't even turn on the Movies and Mystery Channel. So I've got some things planned for that because this will still remain approximately the same amount of time. I have ways to make that work. So I haven't even told Kristin. I'm going to spring it on her. I think it'll be a lot of fun. That said, get vaccinated. Let's go out in the world and do
Get vaccinated, you ding-dongs.
Yeah, ding-dongs. Also, speaking of not vaccinations, but ding-dongs, I guess, maybe. Disney Plus will start their Marvel show, Hawkeye. I almost said Remark. Guys, big announcement.
Guys, big news. We're on Disney.
About it.
We're on Disney.
They will be starting Hawkeye on November 24th, which is a Wednesday. We're not 100% sure of the timing of it to get it out, but we will be reviewing all 6 films with the incredible 10 Mike Gregoric will be here with us to do those. So if you watch the Loki series, you know we've done that, and we will do that again. And maybe we could get Mike to pop in for one of these Hallmark movies. I think it would be a lot of fun.
I just want him to come in and just be like, Mike, did you watch this? No.
He did,
And
hey,
there's-
look, he did watch the Roadhouse Romance.
Loved it.
So, yeah, he did. Well, I mean, he watched it, is what we're saying. I'm not
He
saying he
didn't.
liked it.
He didn't feel the Heinze pull yet.
Well,
So
he didn't say I can't do Hawkeye as soon as we were done that. So that's good.
true. I think he just likes us and not our taste and stuff.
I know we've put the call out to people to watch the mystery movie. If you want to do that, we can try and work something out. I will be quite honest with you. Those movies we may just rip through very quickly and just almost blow past them, just because as we get into the holiday season, there are other things. Like I said, I watched Home Sweet Home Alone. There's so much on Disney Plus that isn't Christmas related that I want to watch. There's so much on like Red Note.
Yeah, there's
Red
one
Note.
on Netflix that I want to watch that the chick from Vampire Diaries is in.
Yeah, that's a Christmas one you're talking
Yes.
about. Right? Yeah. But I mean, like non-Christmas stuff. You know, the Beatles Get Back is coming out Thanksgiving, which I want to watch that. So like, I have a life, and I don't. You know,
What?
I know it's hard to believe. So I think we're gonna have to start skimming through some of the movies.
That's fine.
That said, if you see one that particularly grabs you, we record these right after watching the movie, so you got to hit us up soon. But you can email us at remarktheshow@gmail.com and say, hey, I really like that movie with the Nantucket Noel. That's a regular one. You don't get to review that
You
one.
don't get to review
We
that.
have to suffer through that one.
When does Heinz come? When's his? His is November, right?
His is November. Yeah, his is that Thanksgiving weekend. It's
Yeah.
Friday, I believe. His is
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll be setting up for that. We'll be talking about that next week as we go into those. But check out those movies. You can, again, always write to us and tell us your thoughts about this show. You can follow us on the socials. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. Obviously, we're here on YouTube. You can follow and larf with us throughout the holiday season. Kristin Finger, is there anything else you'd like to plug? So nothing at all. That's fine. I would like to see. I've cut that part out, and now they're just like, "Oh, what's that?" Chris has nothing to plug. I totally cut that out.
No.
That's the beauty of doing it. I can do whatever I want. I have power. I do want to plug Comedy Sports, 7:30 on Saturday nights, live theater. Holy crap! Remember that? It's back. You can do it if you're in the Philadelphia area. If you're not in Philadelphia, look around. There are Comedy Sports in other cities. If you're in Philadelphia or the Philadelphia area, come also see Christmastown, PA, which is a beautiful it's
scripted musical puppet show.
so good.
Humans and puppets living together, mass hysteria.
You can get tickets for that and check for dates. Chris might be able to tell us the dates, but I don't want her to mess them up. So check for dates at either csetix.com or you can go to Comedy Sports with a Z, Philly.com and get those showtimes. You can listen to me on another podcast called The Punch Up Podcast with Steve Roney, Ian O'Shea, Jesse Preisendorfer, and a slew of wonderful guests that we have on that every single Monday.
Even Alan Williams. Who knew?
Yes. Oh, he was great. What a great story.
I hear that you're going to have his wife Tara on to tell the side of the story he told. I love that.
Yeah. She's. We're recording it tomorrow night. I don't know when that one comes out in December, I believe.
She's nervous, so be nice to her, Kevin.
Oh, we always will. I can't speak for Ian. And also, I want to plug something, and I forget what.
Your daughter's show?
Oh, yeah. If you're in the, I'm going to say New Jersey, the Delaware, Wilmington, Philly area, the musical Once. City Theater is doing the musical Once. My daughter is in it. Yay. We were rehearsal all day yesterday. It was great. She plays Ivanka, if you know Once. The little Czech kid. It's adorable. I cannot wait. That musical is fantastic. For any of my friends who happen to see this and have little kids, it's Irish, and if you don't know what that means, remember when I had to bleep myself saying earlier and just did again have to bleep it now? They say that a lot, and it doesn't get bleeped, so just be aware. Not necessarily for kids.
I prefer a show that's not for kids.
I know you do. So that's it, Chris. I can't think of anything else.
We did it. Here's to
I can think of one thing. Do me a favor. Do the Santa Claus blow up guy.
wait, let me start down.
Wait, I'll flip the switch on. Wait. It's off. Ready?